Turning over my leaf. I'm just turning over my leaf. Turning over my leaf. I'm just turning over my leaf. Turning over my leaf. I'm just turning over my leaf. I'm just turning over my leaf. I'm just turning over my leaf.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome everybody to Journey Not a Destination, where we talk about the destination in totality. Growth is motion, so if you're not moving, you're not grooving. You know what I'm saying? I want to welcome, today we're going to have a few guests. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I got my guy here with me today. How's everybody doing today?
Good, brother. Good. You already know what it is.
Yeah, we're us. Big Kesha, how you feeling?
She's spinning right now.
She's spinning.
See, look. See, you got to say what up low or low. You know what I mean? Because
what up low?
Yes.
What up?
Yes.
Big low, not the little. You hear me?
Oh, relax. I'm working on that. I'm working on it.
Hey, listen, I've been fat my whole life. You hear me? I embrace my bigness.
I embrace my stupid.
Like I said, guys, we normally do a mental checkup. One of my hosts went out, but it's fine. So we normally do a mental checkup. Scale from 1 to 10, Lo. How's your mental today?
Today's pretty good, man. I'm looking at about a solid 4.
Okay.
I'm about 4. I'm about 4.
I like that. For me, yeah. I would say my mental would be I'm about a 7.5 mentally, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just rent coming up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. First of the month, boy. It'd be crazy. Yeah. All right. Scale from 1 to 10, my brother. How's your emotional capabilities today?
My emotions, talking about 7 years ago, bro, that's a little different.
Right.
But my emotional capabilities right now, like as I've grown and stuff like that, it's pretty much I'm pretty solid 3. Sometimes I you know what I mean? It gets me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have my ups and downs just like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm a solid 3, bro. Like, I try not to rock the boat too much. Just like, things are gonna happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, man. I do think things come in waves, you know what I'm saying? So we always gonna have a day. We just don't know when it's coming, but we definitely want to prepare for it. For me, I would say my emotions are about maybe a 6, you know what I'm saying? New year, new opportunities, right? I'm learning how to do this content thing. I'm talking to y'all talking to me, we figuring this thing out. I'm learning this process the best that I can, but I'm really grateful that I'm able to even do this shit the way that we're doing it. Everybody across the globe, and we here today to get things in order. All right. Big Case, you back? Can you hear me? Either way. Can you hear me? Say something.
I'll be right back, bro.
All right, you fine. On today's Journey Not a Destination, man, we are here today to speak about a few things, right? Everybody loves the winning, right? I love winning, you love winning. Winning is a big thing in everybody's life, right? But I do think that we don't think about the results and the decisions made when we get to these wins. So today we're going to be talking about building resilience through the small wins. You know what I'm saying? We always think about the results, but we don't think about the decisions made to those results, right? And those decisions made come from the small wins. The cage, mental checkup. Can you hear me? Today, the thing will be more so about, small, consistent actions create lasting transformation, right? Small wins, right? We want to focus on the small wins. That's going to be the biggest thing for the day. I also want to stress to everybody that listens to this, you know what I'm saying, that small wins, big changes are built quietly. You know what I'm saying? We don't, by the time people see what you've done for yourself and how you change and how you put in the work, they see the end result. And they're like, dang, like something about you is different, right? And something about you is different. I'm like, I know, girl. You know what I mean? I've been working on myself. You know what I mean? At least trying to, right? But she don't know all the work it did, all the stressful, all the crying nights, all the laying in the bed, trying to figure it out, drinking more than I'm supposed to, getting the beer belly. You know what I mean? Fighting the beer belly. Fighting the beer bellies is important. Let me tell you right now, right? But I hope that you are taking the time, right, to really focus on yourself, to really understand the process and what we're doing here. Like I said, my goal with this is impact. My goal is for us to come back to this maybe 20 years from now and be able to get some type of information that can help you along this journey, right? And always remember, it's a journey, not a destination, right? We love the highlight reel, but resilience is built in the rehearsal, right? Again, welcome back. New, old, past, future, present, J and D people. I want to welcome everybody to the Journey, Not a Destination. Today we're talking about something that doesn't get applause, that doesn't get trends, it doesn't go viral. It's the small win, right? You know what I mean? When you wake up on time in the morning, to go to the gym, make sure you eat breakfast, or even make it to work on time. We gotta enjoy them times because I'll be fucking up. For sure, you know what I'm saying? The early mornings no one sees, the consistency when motivation disappears, the choice to respond instead of reacting, the discipline to keep your words to yourself, because resilience is not built in one breakthrough moment. It is built in 1,000 quiet decisions. So let's talk about it. All right. Our first segment for today, right? We're going to be going through resilience is repetition, right? Resilience is repetition. People think resilience shows up when life gets hard. Nigga, that shit is by the time it get hard, it was hard before it got hard. Let me tell you. Resilience was already being built in the mundane. It was built when you went to the gym, when you didn't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Sent that email when fear said wait, apologized when ego said defend, stay consistent when results were invisible, and small wins don't look powerful. We here. All right, look, guys. For me, resilience is repetition, right? Repetition for me has been a very important thing when it gets to this point to get to this process to be able to enjoy a lot of these things and focus on a lot of different growth processes that I'm learning about myself and about others and different things. A lot of people come to me for advice. A lot of people come to me all these different things, and I don't have the answers. And let me state this first, right? I'm not your pastor. You know what I'm saying? I'm not your therapist or your psychiatrist. I can't give you the pills you need to make you feel better. Trust me. But what I can do is leave you with some information and just give you my perspective on life in hopes that it can impact yours. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, Dale, let me ask you a question, man. What is your take on resilience? Resilience is repetition.
So for me, like for many years, bro, like I didn't know how to deal with issues, right? I didn't realize that. Just for the listeners and stuff like that, I'm a veteran.
Thank you
You
for your
know,
service.
appreciate it. Thank you for that. I was in a bad place in my life when I went in, but you know what I mean. But like, till about 7 years ago, coming up pretty close, I
Yeah.
didn't really realize that I had all this trauma and all these different things, right? So
Uh-huh.
over the last 6 years, 7 years, um, I basically continued, to stick with certain mantras, listen to certain things. It's funny because when I was going through what I was going through,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not necessarily funny, but where I got a lot of my information and motivation from was Steve Harvey. No,
Mm.
no lie. Like I was watching, on Facebook, whatever, and he was saying these quotes, man, and it kind of just got me to a point to where it's like I started having to do certain things for myself to be better for myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
And over time, like even last week, I learned something about resilience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being consistent. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like you said, it's a journey, bro. Like it's not a destination, it's a journey. You know what I mean? So it's like I think that's key, but you got to find what's best, in rhythm for you. And when you're changing in life, when you're, you know, today might not be the same as tomorrow, but you might have to use some of the tools that you've used before in certain situations and have to adapt them into moving forward. You know what I
Right.
mean? So consistency is key.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even with those bad days, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Well, the bad days be the most
oh,
important.
bro, talk about it, man. You know what I mean? Like, not even about a week ago, bro, I was sitting back and just watching TV and just bawling. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it was just coming. I didn't know where it was coming from. You know what I mean? But it's like I had to learn. You know what I mean? With those down, when those down ticks and stuff like that, you got to realize that like you got to go back to the tools. You got to go back to what's working for you, and you have to adjust the tools
I
because
agree.
yeah. So but you got to be consistent with yourself. And honest with yourself. I think honesty is the key.
Mm.
Honesty is the biggest thing
A lot of you niggas be lying. Let me
to
tell you.
yourself, not to everybody else, but to yourselves,
Include me.
to yourselves, for real,
Keisha.
for real.
Oh, Keisha, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, perfect. All right, before we go forward, we got to get the mental checkup. Can we get a 1 through 10 on your mental checkup?
Mentally, I say I'm at a 9 today. I'm
Okay, I
feeling
like
good.
that. Nigga got a
Yeah,
9. What? Okay,
9.
what about emotionally? 1 through 10.
Yeah, I'm giving that a 9 too.
Oh, the niggas in the game. She cooking fish grease.
Yeah.
You know what
Today I'm in the game. I don't know
I mean?
about tomorrow. Don't ask me
All right.
tomorrow.
Respect. One day at a time, y'all. And that's the whole
Right.
point of this show today, right, guys? Repetition, right? Atomic Habits. It's a book that I read about, instead of making things more of a scheduling thing, right? We create systems that help us create habits, better habits moving forward. So you want to find systems that help you in your resilience, right? Because if you lean on just motivation, if you lean on you, just yourself, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna fall short of glory within them 7 days, right? So we got to find different systems that help us grow and help us be better as people, not only for ourselves but the people around us, right? So to listen, guys, today we got 6 questions that we're gonna go through for you, myself, the people around. You guys, please feel free in the comments once you guys listen to this, and if you guys have your own perspective of how you would answer these questions, please feel free to leave me in the comments and different things like that. So our first question for the day, right, is what small habits have quietly shaped the man or woman you have become? Not the dramatic moves, the daily ones.
That's a good question. Kesha, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, ladies first.
Okay.
Ladies first. Oh yeah, she's
All
a
right.
veteran as well, man. She's a veteran. We got
Oh,
two
you got
veterans.
two? All right, hey,
Oh
salute.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I would have to say daily habits that I started doing, especially after going through a traumatic situation. Taking wellness breaks,
Mm,
whether that's just usually it's just me having my cup of tea, um, just taking that time, those moments to just kind of really just kind of be okay with where I am at the moment. And then throughout the day, I have those moments where I will do brainstorming.
yeah.
So I'm brainstorming different things because sometimes my mind be running a million miles a minute, So throughout the day, I have to brainstorm, and
Yeah.
then closer to the end of my day, I try to wind down, but I have to do like my worst case scenarios.
Mm,
And so I just sit there as it's like it's a meditation. So about 15, 30 minutes, you come up with the worst case scenarios. Once that timer goes off, all that ends. So you got
Mm,
all those, negative thoughts out of your system. You don't go to sleep on, thinking about that.
mm.
So those are some of the habits that I do daily. Try to make sure I exercise too, because that
What about
helps.
you, Dirk?
So pretty much, the way I do it is first 20 minutes of the day, don't touch my phone, and I just kind of roll through the house, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, doesn't matter, raining or anything like that. I get up, just start doing a little breathing exercise. After the breathing exercise, I'll turn around and I'll just step outside for a second, listen to what's going on. I mean, I live
Mm.
like kind of in a traffic area, so I really don't think about that. I just kind of just listen for everything and kind of just be like, dang, okay, thankful. And that kind of just starts, different mantras that I have throughout the day. But
Yeah.
that's kind of like the way I started off, pretty much. Don't get on phones, stuff like that. Kind of have my moment by myself and
Uh,
just enjoy that quietness, that peace, and just take everything in and then just move forward and just try to. I do pray though, you know what I mean. I'll say a little prayer, um, and just move forward and then just continue on my day and then deal with situations as they come.
mm. Yeah. Listen, for me, I would say, I was talking to Keisha a couple days ago, and I think I told her I feel good when I wake up in the morning and I make my bed. I don't know what it is. The whole room could be
Yeah.
trashy as shit, but every morning when I make my bed, I feel like I did something. And you feel like it gives me like some type of burst where I feel like I can do everything else. Right? That's one of the smallest wins that makes me feel better. Makes me feel like I'm able to accomplish whatever's coming upon me during that day. As far as like daily habits is definitely try to get my 30-minute workout in the morning. I used to want to go to the gym all the time, but now I'm like I have everything at home. So I try to make sure I do at least a 30-minute little burpee set, you know what I'm saying? Push ups, you know what I mean? A little bit of yoga, a little stretching. That's super important. I need my coffee, right? I need my coffee in the morning. That's important. Coffee and a little medicine. A little medicine, you know what I'm saying? In the morning, step outside. Get that going. and then honestly really just try to prepare myself mentally for the day. You know what I'm saying? Like making sure I'm listening. If I wake up in the morning, first thing I want to listen to is maybe some jazz, some sound escape music. I kind of want to leave my mind open before I step outside and have to deal with people. I drive a lot and I deliver a lot of people. So sometimes people want to talk, and sometimes a lot of people want to get their energy off in the car. They want to tell me all their secrets and shit,
Mm.
and then leave them with me. And they go live their lives. They feel better. Now all this energy is on me. So I try to prepare myself mentally and emotionally for those days. You know what I'm saying? So those daily habits, just making sure I make my bed, making sure I do my 30-minute workout. You know what I mean? A good little brushing teeth. You know what I mean? For sure. Coffee and some motivational speaking. I got this playlist that I created over the years that has all these different motivational people. And sometimes I start with that in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like that really helps me, especially David Goggins. He always calls me
Mm.
trash.
Oh
He be
yeah.
like,
Oh
"Nigga,
yeah.
you trash." Hard, nigga. Like, yo, I'm not ready to
Man.
go hard today, yo. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't be no bitch. That's what he tell you all the time. Don't be no bitch. Like, go get it. And
Make you want to become a SEAL.
you feel me? And I be feeling guilty sometimes, right? And I see all that shit. But after a while, when you start hearing it, when you start making it a part of your system, it becomes no longer irritation. It's like you kind of got to hear these things to help me start my day. So those are some of the daily habits that I use to help me through the process, right? Our second question for the day, right, will be how do you stay disciplined when progress feels invisible, right?
Mm.
How do you stay disciplined when progress feels invisible, right? When you feel like you're doing all the work, but you're not seeing the results, you're not shedding those pounds like you want to. What keeps you moving when there is no applause and nobody is applauding? You know what I mean? You're not getting that call like, hey, I'm proud of you. You drop something, ain't nobody calling you like, yo, I see you. I see you. You know, we're not getting none of that, right? As far as with you guys, what are some of the things that help you guys stay disciplined when progress feels invisible?
Go ahead, Keisha.
I know for me, I have to have my own checklist for myself. So, because I know like I'm not gonna get the applause, I'm out here, I'm kind of doing this by myself.
Mhm.
But so I have to check my own list off, give myself a pat on the back when
Right.
even when I feel like I ain't made no progress, like with the exercise, I'm like, dang, why these scrubs still fitting tight? They should be looser by now. But
Exactly.
but then I look, I'm like, well, you look like you getting there. You're just not there yet. So, but
Yeah, yeah.
then I look at my list of things that I need to do. I'm like, okay, check mark. I did that. I did my
Mhm,
workout today. I did my Pilates today. I worked, I ate healthy today. So I have to remind myself that sometimes you gotta be your own cheerleader. And so I have to check it off by myself, my own list, you know.
mhm.
For
I
me,
was
uh, for me, like it's crazy. I what I've been learning is that I'm a bad dude. Like I can do it all. Like you
yeah,
know what I mean.
yeah.
And sometimes you know I forget that. But when I turn around and tell myself that I'm battling with trying to be not being cocky,
Mhm.
but
Hmm.
understanding that I've been through worse,
Yeah,
and where I'm at now is because I am a bad dude. Like,
right.
I want to say other words, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm not. I'm just gonna try to keep it a little PG.
I like it.
But
Keep it
like,
Disney. I'll take
but
it.
like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I've been through so much, and a lot of it was because of me, but yet a lot of it was because of me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got out of it because of me.
right.
So,
Right.
you know, that's the thing that keeps me right there. Is just knowing that I can do it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like it
And
doesn't
that
it
and
doesn't
he said it himself that he that dude, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And listen, you gotta wake up every morning feeling that way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Listen. Progress, like I told you, growth is motion, right? But honestly, when it comes with growth, there has to be some form of uncomfortability, right?
of course.
For growth. So if you're not uncomfortable, you're not putting yourself in positions where you feel like I'm unsure, but you feel better afterwards. It's even like going to the gym. It's never been a time I went to the gym and I felt bad afterwards. Right? You ever went to the gym, be like, man, I don't feel good. Like, no, anytime you get out the gym, you feel like you can fight the world. You know what I mean? You feel like you can take over the world, picky brain type of shit. You know what I'm saying? For me, I would say staying disciplined on excuse me, how do I stay disciplined when things are feeling invisible? I do a lot of prayer, I do a lot of meditation. Um, Meditation is key for me. Sometimes I like to sit with my emotions and my feelings to get a better understanding of like, okay, is this how I'm feeling in the present time? or am I thinking about some stuff, all that shit that's in the past, or all the things that I want to do,
Mhm.
and so cluttered to the point that okay, now I'm feeling these emotions because of all these things that I can't get done. You know what I'm saying? My rule is if you can't do it in 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, you shouldn't even worry about it. But a lot of us do. So for me to stay disciplined, another thing I like to do is live in the present, right? Touch some grass, touch earth. You know what I mean? I don't always mean go outside and get grounded. You know what I mean? To all my earthy friends. I got a lot of them too. To all my earthy friends who like to put their feet in the grass. But sometimes it's just truly, truly, truly living in the present, and understanding that it's a journey, not a destination. You know what I mean? Yes, I got to this point where I'm able to enjoy myself and enjoy life, but I'm not doing this for anybody else other than myself, right? The applause got to come from yourself. And one thing I stress to everybody, right, is you must learn how to enjoy yourself by yourself. Let me tell you that right now. Listen, if you don't have fun by yourself, you're trash. You know what I'm saying? You clearly don't
Mhm.
like yourself. Ain't no girl, ain't no nigga. If you got to go out to have this feeling, if you got to go hang out with people, if you can't sit at the crib, watch TV, read a book, or whatever you like to do at home, if you can't do all that at an enjoyable space, then it's clearly you're not working on the discipline that it takes so you can live in the present. For me, I think that's something that really helps me when shit feels invisible. You know what I'm saying? Especially with doing all this content shit, because it's a scary process. Like once we get done, I'll be like, sometimes you be doubting different things, and it's like, yo, first thing you gotta do is leave, right? And then it's like you'll think something doesn't work, and as soon as you put it out, you're getting all this love. Certain people fucking with
Yep.
you out of the blue, and you like, I didn't even like this like that,
Right.
but they like it like this, whatever.
Right.
So we'll let it win. So I stress everybody, right? When it comes to discipline and when it comes to staying disciplined while it's invisible, right? The reward is yourself, right? The reward is you being able to enjoy yourself by yourself. So when people come and then you allow people to be around you, it's more of an enjoyable thing. And can't nobody take your joy. Can't nobody just deter your energy. You know what I'm saying? You're able to enjoy yourself as much as you can. So I urge everybody to do that, right? My next question right today is what big challenges in your life were actually conquered through small repeated wins?
Mm.
Not overnight success, but slow mastery. They say mastery takes 10,000 hours or some shit like that, right? And they say roughly 10,000 hours is about maybe 4 years. If I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me, but that's what I was told.
We're quoting you.
Yeah, for,
Yeah, we'll put that.
for sure,
He
right?
said it.
Yeah, he said it. What challenges that were conquered through small wins? For me, I always go back to when I woke up in the hospital all dead. The nigga asked me, did I have a wheel? Yeah. I was like, as I was falling out, nigga said, you got a wheel? A wheel for what? But I woke up after those small wins. It was like I had to create different systems and different habits to really start enjoying life, right? And really start
Mhm.
enjoying the people around me. I really start loving on myself more. I didn't want to love myself because I'm doing things. I want to just love myself truly. Different small wins for me would be being the fact that I'm able to do this with everybody, right? And talk to my people and have these different conversations, right? These little small conversations. I've been having these little small conversations my whole life, right? And having that community of people you can talk to while you go through this process is super important. That helped me with my small efforts and that I had to repeat. Have somebody that you can communicate to. If you don't have somebody, right? Journaling is one of the things that helped me out tremendously. Even the bad stuff, right? We gotta get the bad stuff out of our head as well. When I used to write, my mentor used to always tell me, "Hey, listen, when you're writing, make sure you write out the bad stuff as well. Don't leave that in your head. Get that out, even if it's trash. Get it out, put it on paper, and make sure you have a clear mind when you're choosing to deal with it." So I took that with me in real life, where it's like, okay, now I'm learning how to deal with things in its truest form, at my truest self, even if it's ugly, even if I don't like it. Uh, even if the wins are invisible, like we spoke about earlier, right? What can I do to enhance myself every day, right? So that's working out, that's meditation, that's talking to the right people, right? Going out on different occasions. I mean, doing some stuff for yourself. You know what I mean? I went to the movies by myself. Okay, well, I
Mhm.
understand. It's not cool. It's not the coolest thing to do. And I did go see Demon Slayer, but it's an anime. To all my anime folks, y'all
I
understand.
know. Yeah.
You know what this is about. But that was probably one of the best days of my life. You feel me? Like to really go, I've been there screaming like the mother niggas. You know what I mean? Like people in there crying, they getting standing ovations, and it made me feel good, right? Not that the fact that I went by myself, but it was the fact that this community enjoyed this situation as much as I was, and everybody's enjoying this shit with no boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's judging anybody. The girl next to me is crying, breaking down. I'm like, I'm laughing, not at her, at the fact that this little cartoon to get this girl
Yeah.
out of herself, right? Um, but it was slow mastery for me, right? It was slow for me. Being able to just go to the gym every day, being able to read and study and doing what I'm doing with you guys today, this shit took time. This shit took
Hmm.
slow cooking. You know what I mean? Crock pot shit. You know what I'm saying? Just not the shit you make in the oven. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the air fryer.
Okay.
You know, we don't want this in 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I need a 3 hour slow cook, 8 hour slow cook. I need it falling off the bone. And that kind of helped me with repeating my efforts. How about you guys? Uh Keisha, what's up with you? What was some of the challenges in your life where you actually conquered through small, repeated efforts and wins?
I have to say I'm still going through the challenge. I think the biggest challenge of my life to this day. But actually, speaking with other people, like having that support,
Yeah,
and then also journaling does a lot. I didn't realize journaling did so much until I actually started journaling because I
yeah,
thought like
yeah.
this ain't gonna work, you know. Just like when they tell you go to therapy, you're like this ain't gonna work. I don't need no therapy, but
Right.
it did. It does work. And what I had did, I wrote letters. So I wrote a letter for forgiving one person, and then I also wrote a letter forgiving myself.
Oh,
And
that's fire.
so yeah, because I was like, well, I can forgive them, but I gotta forgive myself for even being in that situation or allowing it to happen or to get to
Yeah.
that point. And
Mm-hmm.
and really saying like you can move forward, you can go on from here. It's okay, because
Yeah,
it was times I'm like, man, you stuck. Like what was you thinking? So it was like you have to forgive yourself as well as that person or whatever the situation is. Um, yeah, so that definitely has helped in overcoming this journey that I've been on. So having the people in my corner, journaling, those are probably the biggest things little habits that kind of conquer the day for you.
right. Now I do think journaling is paramount for sure, for sure. That helped me out tremendously. How about you, Lo?
So you guys got me on the journaling. I haven't journaled in I don't know how long,
Yeah.
you know, based off the fact that somebody in my past turned around and told me like, what the hell are you doing that for? But you know what I mean? That was part of my
Mm.
destructive phase and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um so my small wins, what was the question again, bro? I'm sorry.
Okay. Don't worry. The question was, my bad. What big challenges in your life were actually conquered through small wins and repeated effort?
Okay, so pretty much like the small wins is what I base everything on. It's crazy because you know, as of late, the way I'm trying to like move forward and stuff like that, everything's
Mhm.
been stacking on top of each other.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I mean? First thing I got to do is get up, do my thing, go to the gym, you know what I mean? Ride a bike, slowly but surely moving forward. You know, every day is like a step forward, you know?
Yeah.
And what I've learned as of recent is that pretty much when I'm doing that, it has gotten me to this place. And the way everything's coming up for school, for like right now, I'm at work, I'm in school, I'm about to be in school, I'm over here starting a business. So I know that it can't happen right now. So it's like I gotta take those steps. Those small steps to me, it might not be big for a lot of people, somebody that's doing a lot or not doing much at all. But for
Yeah.
me, it's like any little step forward, I'm what I'm learning is not to make any steps backwards
Mm.
for myself.
Yeah.
Now, other things might halt you, but it doesn't mean that I'm not moving forward in one way or another because I learned from, what's kind of stopping me.
Mm.
You see what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like the way I got to the point to where I have a brand new car, got all this studio equipment, everything like that. It was basically taking those small steps, saving a little bit of money here, doing something like that, whether it's
Yeah.
$50, $10, whatever it is. It's just those small wins for me, it could be anything. And
Yeah.
then I congratulate myself, like, man, all right, you made it through the day, or you made it through this week. So it can be a numerous things, but the small wins are key to getting to not your destination, so to speak,
Yeah.
but the journey to have the journey move forward. See how I played the words on that? See how I did that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
see it.
Like,
He sound like a regular, don't he? For sure.
yeah.
No, I definitely agree, man. I do think that those little steps are super important. And for everybody else who's watching, is paying attention, make sure you're creating systems,
Mhm.
and creating healthy boundaries. while you're doing these small wins, right?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
would say for small wins are kind of like happiness, right? Happiness, they say that happiness is more of a in passing. You know what I mean? It's not like a final thing. You kind of get a bunch of happiness days, and you put them together, it makes a happy moment. It's not like a I'm happy today. You might be sad tomorrow, but the goal is you want to really enjoy every moment and every process, even the
Mhm.
ugly. You know what I mean? But we want to focus on loving the good sides as well and being proud of ourselves for whatever effort you're going. If you go to the gym and say you only do 50 push-ups instead of 100, the fact that you did the 50, let's take the W, right? Let's take
Yeah.
that W. But if you continue going half-assing on yourself, then it's no longer a small win. You're just cheating yourself, right?
Right.
Um, but listen, moving on to the next question, right? Our next question for the day is, what mistakes taught you the importance of consistency? When did you learn that talent without discipline collapse under pressure? Okay.
How much time we got?
Uh, yeah, damn, all right. Woo! All right. Anybody want to fill the floor? Or I can take it first, whichever you all prefer.
I'll run it. I'll
All
go
right,
for it. You know what I mean?
go ahead.
So they say that like mistakes are, you know, they say from what I heard, mistakes and from what I learned, mistakes are leading you in the right path so you don't do it again. You know what I mean? So it's
Mm,
like all the mistakes that I've made, I've learned not to do it again. Now, have I
right.
done some of the things again? Of course. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Nobody's perfect. But
exactly.
like the mistakes that got me to this point, I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful that I fell on my face so many times. I picked myself up. I'm thankful for learning that, like, okay, I can do the same thing, but in a different way and not get that mistake. So I think mistakes personally are learning points, no matter how big or how small. That's just me. You know what I mean? So because there's been to a lot, like a lot of mistakes, you know. Like for example, just messing around and stuff. Like I've been married 2 times, right? I'm going for
Oh
the
shit!
third, and you know what I'm saying.
He said I do twice.
Hey,
Hey,
if it doesn't work, I'm going for that fourth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Keep going.
But nah, it's just a process, man. It's just a process. And with every mistake, you tend to, like how you were saying, Keisha, about forgiving yourself.
yeah,
That's the key. And most of the time when you forgive yourself is because you didn't know. You know what
Right.
I mean?
yeah,
You didn't know.
Right.
And then you're like, oh man, my bad. I didn't know. Well, was it that fault or was it because I pushed too much? Did I not go further enough? You know what I
right.
mean? So it's all those give and
Right.
takes, stuff like that. So those mistakes, you got to understand, you got to give yourself some grace. You know what I mean? No matter the mistakes. So, you know, I'll continue. I hopefully I won't do them again, but I'll know how to step around it. But it's just a process, man. It's just this life. That's what it is. You know.
I agree. How about you, Keith?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think I really started to see it with my kids. Like when I
Mm,
stopped being consistent with them is when I could really see like the fall off, especially like with their grades. Like, okay, I
Yeah,
ain't been on you like I'm usually am, and now your grades slipping. Now I got to get back on you. And it's like, okay, I have to be consistent and stand on their grades and like, hey, let me check this weekly. Let me see where you at. You need help with this. Do you? And that's where I really started to notice because I could go, I'm like, okay, y'all good. Grades is good, but remembering to check in with them.
right.
mm,
So even then with me, it's like, okay, well, I got to remember to check in with myself too, because I mean, I can go and just keep going. I mean, Cam knew like I was pulling extra shift doing 16 hours
mm.
every other
Goodness
day. It
gracious.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Cooking with fish
It
grease.
was insane. And then I was like, you know what? I need to stop. I need a rest. But
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, just making sure I check in with myself and like you said, learning from those mistakes. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, had I known what I known back then, would you have made the same decision? You can't really say that because you didn't know what you knew back then. So
Exactly.
it's like you just gotta forgive yourself about that, and just move forward. And now, you look at everything in a different light. You question
Mm.
everything a little bit more. Your
Mm,
red flags are actually red flags, and you be like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. Nope. that's a red flag, and I'm standing on this red flag. I'm not trying to change you or turn you into someone that I want you to be, because you're showing me who you are. And I think that was my biggest mistake, is trying to, turn someone into who I see the potential of them being, as opposed to
Mhm.
whoever they were showing me that they were at the time. So won't make
Fact.
that mistake again. So but yeah, it's just um consistency and realizing and recognizing, those things, and just trying to, stay forward, move forward. And my
Yeah.
tolerance for, BS is a lot lower, especially with adults.
Right, for
Like
sure.
kids I can
Definitely.
do. Kids, y'all still learning, but you grown people, no, you don't get no passes from me. Nope.
None at all. Let me tell you. I support both of your guys' answer. I definitely agree. What mistakes that taught me the importance of consistency. You know, Lo has been in my life for a very long time, right?
Very long.
And most of my mistakes come from picking the wrong woman, right? I think choosing the right woman or the right people in your life has taught me about consistency because you know, just because I show up for somebody or even I show up for myself, I can't expect others to show up in that way. I can't expect
Mhm.
others to show
Right.
up in how I'm showing up. If I'm showing up, it's what I want to do, not what I'm expecting others to do because I'm doing it, right? That that helped me with that mistake, taught me about how important it is to be consistent for the people you love and yourself. I never was the person who held grudges or different things like that. I'm on most cases I'm forgiving, but a few know it's up, nigga, till the day we die. You can't make me forgive me. Let me tell you right now. But
Yeah,
one
right, right.
show
You lying.
one show
Cap,
myself.
cap.
Hey, you know,
Yeah, right. It's a journey, not a destination, right? There's still things I had to learn from, and a lot of like I said, for me, a lot of my mistakes come from how and what I was choosing women for, and I was doing things for the wrong reason. That's for me. That's what taught me
mhm,
consistency when it comes to
definitely.
women, right? For me, at least in this journey right now. Maybe next year might be something a little different, but it taught me how okay, certain people may be better at showing up for others than they are for themselves, right? And then there's certain people who are better at showing up for themselves, but don't care to show up for others, right? And there's a consistency in both of those, and uh, both of them can lead to destruction. So choose wisely, learn from your mistakes, right? And trust the consistency that you put in daily, yearly, weekly, monthly in your life, right? Our next question, right, for the day is how do you remain a person of your world in the small things when no one is watching? Because integrity in private builds strength in public. Let
Hmm.
me read that again,
Hmm.
just to make sure, because I want us to really intake this one. How do you remain a person of your world in the small things when no one is watching? When no one is
Uh,
watching,
when
but
nobody's watching, to me it's more of a reminder of be patient, let things come to you, and understand that you can't change everything. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much like my mantra. Pretty much, I can't change anything. I can
right.
just, and when I'm nobody's looking, you know what I mean? Like, because I make beats too as well, right? You know what I mean? But I've never put anything out or anything like that. But
Mhm.
I stay consistent on it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try to find something that's gonna work for me, and I stay consistent on it. I
Uh-huh.
DJ as well. I might not be the best DJ, but I stay on it at least about 20, 30 minutes a day. Like I stay consistent with myself because if not, then those voices in your head start kind of trying to break you down and stuff like that. And you
Mhm.
start, then what I've learned also as well is when nobody's looking, I watch other people,
Mm.
producers, DJs,
Hmm.
all that stuff, and know
Ooh,
that I'm not there. Know that
love
I'm
of
not
people.
there, but and they say that is bad, but it's a growth for me. It
Yeah.
not from I don't come from a point no more and be like, why is he like why is this, why is that? Now I'm at the point where it's like I can do that. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I invest in my craft, and in order to do that, I have to enjoy other people's work because I'm inspired by a lot of different people.
Mhm.
So I don't take that away from me. Like the anger and frustration basically is gone away now because I have to enjoy that people are talented. I'm not going to be number one. I'm okay with being 15th, but being, good about that within myself. So it's like,
Right.
so for me, when nobody's looking, I enjoy, even because I do a Raiders podcast, right? And
Yeah.
I see everybody else just blowing up, right? And I had like, two of the guys that I did it with relax, you know,
Not
and
even for life,
matter
nigga.
of fact, right?
I'm
But
sorry. Go ahead.
but
Go
the
ahead.
thing
My
is,
bad. My
so
bad. My bad.
I've seen so many people just blow up off of it. And I'm like, man, why not me? And they're like, no, like they do good work. They
Yeah.
learned how to do the podcast. They knew how to do certain things.
Yeah.
They know how to do that. I'm like, man, I want to do that. So it's like an inspiring. So when nobody's looking, I watch other people and I get inspired by it, and that makes me better. You know what I mean? So that's how
How
I
about
look at things.
I like that. I like that. How about you, Keith?
So for me, I mean, working in the field that I work in, that which I've done pretty much my whole life, working in the healthcare field, I don't have the luxury of not doing what I'm supposed to do when nobody's looking, because this could be life or death for people. So I take it
Right.
very seriously. Even like if I'm not in, the operating room, I'm at home, it's like I give myself a pat on the back for doing it even when nobody's looking or,
Hmm.
when nobody's paying attention to it. So definitely it's like something that I don't know, it's just innate in me, like just to do the right thing when no one's looking, because that's when it's the challenging, the most challenging for you is like, okay, you ain't got no eyes on you. What you gonna do?
Mm,
What you
Right.
gonna do? You gonna sink or fail? Or you
right.
think you don't have any eyes on you, then that's where you start to get comfortable or you start to get complacent with it. And then you start to make little mistakes. And then now you're down a whole nother road, just because you didn't want to stay, you know, honorable in those moments when no
Yeah.
one was looking,
Right. Right.
so
Right.
Hmm.
especially for me, like in the operating room, like I have people lives in my hands, literally. Like I could set up my operating room table and no one's looking and I can just contaminate everything. And then the
Mm.
patient end up getting an infection and then end
Mm.
up, going septic or dying, So I have to, nah, I touched this. Let me change gloves. Let me get a new one. Even though nobody's in there to see that I did it, I still have to because what if that was my mom on the table? What if that was
Right.
one of my loved ones on the table? You would want people to do the same thing. So just staying, because staying in that moment and knowing that you're doing the right thing will set you up for life to do the right thing, even when no one's looking. And I
Mm.
think that also helps with combating like peer pressure. You know, um when you know that you can do the right thing when nobody's looking, that means you can definitely do the right thing when somebody is looking,
Right.
so you won't be peer pressure to do the wrong thing, or you don't think twice about doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know what I mean? It's like, well, what's that saying? I stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
Classic.
Right.
Yeah, you know
Classic.
what I mean? So it's
Right.
like, so it's like you're on point all the time. So it's like you don't, oh, this is nothing. Like I'm not gonna, cut corners or anything like that. But it's like you gotta stay ready to be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
Yep.
man. Exactly. For me, I would say that I've created some mantras, right? I created some different uh things that I say to myself to kind of help me stay uh stay locked in, stay poised and different things when nobody's watching, right? Because I have a lot of alone time, more than normal. Um and you think you're used to it, right? You think you're dealing with yourself until them lights cut off, that TV cut off, right? You gotta lay in that bed and you can't sleep. Now your mind is way more louder than your thoughts. That
Hmm.
shit get crazy, right? One of my
Right.
mantras I like to use is I will no longer be governed by how I think and how I feel. I will only be governed by what I know.
Mm.
Right. So I like to make sure that if I'm feeling anything, if I'm if I'm emotional about something, first question I like to ask myself is this real? Right? Is this for me? Is this about me? Or am I sharing these emotions from the day from dealing with all these different people? You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, how is this going to stop me from being locked in?
Right.
Right now, I advise you all, everybody, including all of us in this motherfucker, right? we have to stay locked in no matter what. Do not let nobody deter you from your goals and your destinations and what you're trying to do. Excuse me, your journey, not the destination. Because once you make somebody your destination, it's no longer a journey, and that shit has never been fun for anybody. It's weird. Like once a girl knows she got you, she don't want you no more. Shit crazy. But when she know that it's gonna be a long journey, she gonna love you forever. Shit crazy. Makes no sense, but it does. It does. Let me
Oh
tell you.
my god.
I don't know. That I think that just might be the women you choosing.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to
Listen,
say, bro, like,
not
hey, come on
whoever
now.
you believe.
Come on now. Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Whoever it may concern. But the
Hey,
key
hold on,
is,
hold on, hold on. Cam,
Right.
Cap.
whoever it may concern, right?
No, but your mantra is good though. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. Thank you. And I try to instill these different things because I feel like, you know, a lot of people shun talking to yourself. You know what I mean? But just don't answer back. But I do think
Don't
there's
answer back.
power. There's power in talking to yourself, motivating yourself. Speaking to yourself with your ideas and things you want to do. Cross analyzing, like, yeah, writing it down is important, but for me, it was communicating out loud, hearing, because sometimes you don't know something bullshit until you say it out loud, right? You say that shit
Right.
out loud, you be like, oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. Like that shit don't sound fun at all.
You're
That
like,
shit
yeah,
sounds
that
trash.
sounded good in my head.
Yeah,
Nah.
right. So those little things, right, have helped me through these small wins when nobody is watching because, you know, it was funny. Once I quit promoting to my friends, right, because I do music, I rap, you'll see me, it's your boy Canadian, whatever it is. But once I quit promoting to my friends and I started finding the people that need what I had, all of a sudden all my people that I wanted to pay attention started paying attention. But when you start giving stuff to everybody else, the people you love, and you waiting for their validation, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to validate it until they see somebody else liking it or they see the success in it. Not the actual success of it, but they see the success in it. Then you're going to get the call like, hey, man, can you do that for me? Can you work on this for me? It's like, no, I'm still working on myself. Like I said, let your yeses be yeses and let your no's be no's at all times. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't say yes because you're a good person. It doesn't make you a good person. Trust me. That shit hurts
Hmm.
every time. But for me, mantras and jotting down my day. At least every morning when I wake up, I try to jot my dreams. That's something my homegirls put me on to. Because I haven't been remembering my dreams, but since I slowed down from like smoking and drinking and those different things, having more of a healthier body, I'm starting to remember my dreams more. I didn't know how all this shit was connected. So for me, that's probably something that's super important for me, right? Our question, all right? Our last question for the day is to the room. What trauma or past failure made you realize that resilience isn't about never falling, but about refusing to stay down?
All of it.
Right?
Right. Right.
Every single piece.
um,
No, go ahead.
yeah. So one of the things for me is relationships. I'm learning
Yeah.
that like some of the relationships that I've had, whether it be, I am a heterosexual male, but with men or women, but predominantly women, but it's kind of
Wait,
going
hold on. Where we going?
more along the times. Not all women are bad. Not
Don't
all women
scare
are
me.
bad, right?
I was
Right,
with you. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
right. But you know, when stuff would happen, is because I allowed it to.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like I
Right.
allowed this person in my energy and to take me away from what I was actually moving forward and moving
Mhm.
towards. And I I was more upset at them, but when it boils down to it, it was my choice to, allow that to happen. So, that right there, because for some reason I didn't realize it at the time when I was getting myself up, but now I know why.
Right.
Because I knew deep down inside that I'd allowed that. So now the boundaries are pretty much key for me. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
so I only allow certain things in my life and I don't like it, I'm out. So it taught me so I can just stay upright, instead of falling. Now, do I fall the ways down? No, I might be on my knee, it might stumble a little bit, but I will never get to the point of that because of my past relationships and stuff like that on all aspects.
How about you, Keisha?
Yeah, I would agree with Lou. It would definitely be the relationship because going through that right now, like going through a divorce and just think
Mhm.
about, reflecting back and think about all the things that I allowed to happen.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was like, girl, sheesh, you was in deep, like in deep, too deep. Like it
Mhm,
like to the point where I lost myself,
mhm.
and
Yeah.
coming out of it, it's like, man, I'm getting back to me. I'm
Yeah,
starting to love
yeah.
me out. So and then everything you just you kind of give off a different aura, and you attract good and bad and people who like, no, I'm good.
Mhm,
But then setting those boundaries, I think that was like the biggest thing was setting the boundaries and sticking to them.
Mhm.
Um, because I was telling Cam, like I lost quite a few people that I thought was in my corner when I started setting
Oh yeah.
boundaries.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, I thought we was rocking. Find
Yep.
out, no, you ain't. We ain't rocking. Okay, cool. I'm good. So I cut you off completely. I burned that bridge. Um, but yeah, I think that was it. That's the biggest thing is the relationship wise is, you know, going through those things. And, so when I'm feeling that way or I'm feeling, down on myself from, going through this divorce and thinking what could I have done better or right, I throw on Cardi B, get up 10, you know.
Oh shit! I didn't see
I
that
was
coming.
like,
Yeah.
right. Because
That's
normally I'm in there, I'm listening I'm
Little
listening to
Boosie,
Boosie or
little
somebody, but
Boosie.
right, love little Boosie. He done got me through some trials and tribulations. Let me tell
Yo,
you, but
Boosie
seriously.
gets you out.
yeah, well, I throw in that Cardi B because some of her stuff is really relatable, especially with that song and her newest one, No Drama or Am I the Drama? That intro, like I'm like, was she here? Did she see a recording of my life or something? I promise I felt like she
Yeah.
was saying everything that was happening with me. Um, but yeah, I think those are the biggest things. Like you have to kind of just realize, you got to get back to you because, like I said, I
Mhm.
lost myself, and so I have to get back to me, loving me, and that way I
But
can love everybody else better.
but isn't it crazy that even though you felt that you lost yourself is what kept you going, but it was back here,
Right,
just that
right,
little bit, and you didn't even know it was
right,
there, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden it's like I'm right here. What are you
right.
doing? Get
I'm
away from
back.
me!
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. I'm
exactly.
back.
Like I ain't never left.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And so
Exactly.
now the motto is like, okay, let me just stunt. I'm about to stunt on everybody right now.
Yeah,
Silently stunt. I'm not gonna, broadcast it, but you're gonna see
yeah,
like what you did and how how I came out of it, like a phoenix
right,
rising from the ashes. Y'all about to see this.
yeah,
No, for real. Hell yeah. Listen, I agree with both of y'all. I'm not going to deny any of that. But for me, I've been doing the Undertaker my whole life, nigga. The casket open, I get right back up every time, nigga. Ready to fight tomorrow. You feel me? For me, I would say,
Grim Reaper.
it's for sure. Like,
she
there's a
said Grim
lot of things
Reaper.
that I shouldn't. There's a lot of things I shouldn't have survived. Right? There's a lot of things that I shouldn't have got up from. At least that's what others would say.
Right.
Right? If we're talking about resilience when it comes to trauma and failure, right? And with the trauma and failure for me, that helped me realize my resilience isn't the fact that I continue falling, it's the fact that I continue getting up. I really trust God, right? We got to put God first. You know what I'm saying? I've
Mhm.
been getting real deep into my
Mhm.
spirituality. Make sure you're praying, make sure you're getting your read on, spend your time. Like my brother would say, Pastor Copeland, what's good, family? You'll see this, you feel me? He'll tell you, how you get time with that word, you feel me? How you get time with that word. But for others who are not as religious as I am or we are, I would say have that time with your higher self, with God, whichever one you believe. You know what I mean? And really take that time to enjoy the intricate traumas that will come because in this book that I'm working on, right, called When You Change the Language, we talk about the subconscious triggers, right? And the triggers, these are the triggers that you don't even know are triggers. Like, when I broke up with
Mm-hmm.
my baby mama, I had like covers and pillowcases and shit that I didn't know were a part of my triggers until I really had to sit down and break down like why I keep feeling the way. Everything's good, but I come home, right? And the only thing that hasn't changed is
Mm,
the cover and the
mm,
pillowcases.
Mm-hmm.
And you
mm.
think it's small, right? You think it makes
Right.
no sense. Like it doesn't matter, right? But at the same time, those things keep reminding you of something that you're getting away from. You know what I'm saying? So I had to completely take those out, right? So I can deal with the bigger triggers, right? And for me, I just kept getting the fuck up, y'all. I'm telling y'all, like, I don't feel a couple times. You hear me?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? A couple times. And I just kept getting up. And it was like at times there was nobody there to say, hey, get your ass up, right? But my mom used to always instill in me when I was young, like, if you don't do it, who will? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
my mom was like a sergeant low key. Like she had like I had indefinite dishes. If you know what that is, as a black family, you know that it don't matter how successful you are, it don't matter how many yards you get outside at the high school game. When you get home, them dishes are waiting for you. Let me tell you,
Oh yeah.
not fun. Not the funnest thing. I'll tell you what, that created trauma.
Yeah.
But that same trauma has made me better because now when I'm in other environments, I know how to handle things. I know how to deal with myself. I know how to deal with the people around me. I can actually clean. And now I'm acting like my mama. I'm like, nigga, that's nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like, okay, cool. But it helped me stay down in what I'm doing, right?
Right.
I just kept get up. And I want to urge somebody who choosing to listen to us, you know what I'm saying, that get your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Get up
Mhm.
every time. Like it's gonna feel ugly. It's not gonna be pretty. They probably not gonna love you in the way you think you deserve to be loved, but get up every time, family. Make sure you get up. Clip that. You know what I mean? Clip that. In closing, right? In closing, reflection, I would like to call it. Small wins and healing. Um, small wins do help to the progress of healing, right? Make sure that when you are making these small wins, that they're not in vain, vanity. Make sure that you are enjoying yourself, enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, and know that you're not here to get everything right. You're just here to do it right the first time so you don't have to do it again, right? Sometimes trauma makes us look for drama. Excuse me. Sometimes trauma makes us look for dramatic redemption. We want a big comeback, but healing is subtle. It chooses therapy. It chooses healthier conversations. It chooses not to text back when you're triggered. It chooses to rest instead of self sabotage. Those are wins. The world celebrates breakthroughs, but your nervous system heals through repetition. Resilience isn't built in those repeated, regulated choices. Excuse me. Resilience is built in those repeated, regulated choices. And every time you keep your word to yourself, to wake up, to show up, to grow up, you're rewiring your internal narrative. Big challenges don't require big energy; they require sustained energy. So honor the small wins, celebrate the daily commitments, protect your consistency. Hear me? Protect your consistency at all costs, because this journey was not about the one monumental moment. It's about who you become through quietly accumulation of effort. And as always, I love you guys. But before we go, we got to give you the quote of the week and the word of the day. Case we got a quote? Because if you don't, I got one.
See, you go ahead and do your quote. I ain't got one off top.
Yeah. I got one. Yeah. I didn't get the assignment.
No, it's
I got
okay.
one.
Don't worry. The quote of the day, right, is trust those you train and excuse me, train those you trust and trust those you train, right? And when I say that, that's all from your friendships to your business ventures to the people you love to your relationships. If you are taking the time to train somebody to learn how to deal with you and be in your life, you gotta trust that you gave them the right information.
Mm.
If you want them lying ass niggas, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I used to be him. You know what I mean? I used to get them. Anyways, the word of the week, right? The word of the week is effort. Um, effort creates effortless. So make sure that you apply. Just apply yourself, man. Don't rush it. You know what I mean? Don't sweat the small stuff. You know, be you at all times, even when it's uncomfortable. And as long as you know you gave it 100%, we live with the results, okay? But if you didn't give it 100%, then you go, you know what you got to do. But give everything 100%, man. One of my friends, he's silly. He's very competitive. Shout out my nigga, man. My nigga Tate. He's very competitive, right? But the problem with us and him is that he'll go 100% on the positive stuff, right? But he'll also go 100% on the negatives, like hard. And this is my guy. I love my dog. You know what I mean? Y'all see him too, but it's just that taught me how to in the words of Will Smith, fell forward. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you have to go hard in that negativity to know to never do it again, to understand that it was wrong. You know what I mean? You sometimes, we'll go light on a positive thing and then go hard on a mistake and then hold on to that mistake. But no, listen, enjoy the small wins and trust the process, right? And as always, this is the journey, not a destination. I thank you guys for coming. Anybody want to promote anything? Anybody have anything they doing they want to promote, they want to put out? Please, by all means, feel free to say what you have to say.
Not at the moment, but I will very soon. I will very soon. So not at the
Word
moment.
bless, man.
I
think
appreciate everything, bro. You already
word
know
bless, man. As again, man, I thank you guys for joining our destination. Shout out Keith, shout out to Big Homie Low, not the little homie. You know what I'm saying? As always, it's your boy Canadian.
Tell me leave if I want
to.
Can't wait cause I want to. Don't worry about me. I'm just turning over my leaf, and my last one is complete. You can stay. Don't worry about me. I'm just turning over my leaf. Heat my deposit, I leave. It's complete. You can stay, cause I'm turning over my leaf. I'm just turning over my leaf. I'm just turning over my leaf. I'm just turning over my leaf.